This conference will now be recorded.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
So today's topic is limits on deductions. So these limits can be applied for a pay period or for a cumulative period. Like quarterly, half yearly, and yearly. Okay, and the pay period limit also you can apply. So pay period limit means what? In this month, the value of the deduction in this pay period, in one pay period, the value of deduction must not exceed so and so amount. So and so amount. Yeah, that amount, limit amount, or a maximum capping can be a fixed amount or can be a rule based figure, some percentage of another waste time. Clear? So a limit can be applied for a period, a limit can be applied for a quarterly period, half yearly period, annual period. For example, this deduction must not exceed $10,000 in a year. Okay, the deduction must not be more than $10,000 in a year. It must not exceed $10,000 in a year. So that limit you are applying for a year, right? So a limit can be applied on the deductions for the pay period, for the cumulative period. You got this point, guys? All of you? You understood this point? Any question on this point? So limit can be applied on single waste step or on total of multiple waste steps. Limit can be applied on a single waste step or on the total of multiple waste steps. For example, there is a deduction, it must not exceed, so it's a limit. It is an individual waste step limit. Okay, there are three deductions. These three deductions together must not exceed, okay, must not exceed $5,000 in a pay period. Must not exceed $5,000 in a pay period, like this. Okay, you can set a limit on individual waste step. You can set a limit on multiple waste steps. Multiple waste steps. Okay, so basically to apply the limit, you have to have a waste step class, guys. To have a waste step, you need to have a waste step class. So this waste step class contains single waste step or multiple waste steps. Okay, single waste steps or multiple waste steps. On that, you will apply limit. The limit can be a fixed amount or a rule-based amount. And the limit is for which period? This limit is for the pay period, maintain EM. This limit is for yearly, maintain Y. So you are applying the limit, either a fixed amount or a rule amount, okay, on a single waste step or a multiple waste steps, okay, or for the year and period. So waste type class determines on which waste types you are applying a limit, okay, and then the limit amount and then cumulative period. So this is all it is. Clear? This is all the limits on deductions. In the backend system, I mean, when I run payroll, So there is a function called limit. Okay, near say this function takes care of this limits processing. Okay, so example. I have a deduction 1, deduction 2, deduction 3. So this is 1000, this is 6000, let's say this is 7000. Okay, now when the company, I mean, when when they say the pay period limit, the pay period limit for the above three deductions together is 8000. These deductions must not exceed 8000. So what should we do, guys? Deductions, these three deductions must not exceed 8000. What should we do? These three deductions must not exceed 8000. How do you apply the limit? On which way step you would apply the limit? On which way step you would apply the limit? See the total three together, how much? How much?
14,000.
How much do we need to reduce from this?
8,000.
How
6,000,
much
sir.
do we need to reduce?
6,000.
6,000 we need to reduce. The 6,000 you will reduce from which way step? The 6,000 you will reduce from which direction?
You can deduct it from deduction 2 or 3.
How would system know? Should be deducted from direction 2 or 3. So first one, priority for reduction. Reducing the reduction. Okay, this method. Suppose if I say first reduce from this, second reduce from this, this is a third. Okay, if I specify this priority, right, what will happen? 0. It is reduced to 0. First priority. So 1000 is reduced. Remaining how much I need to reduce? 5,000, right? Okay, the remaining 5,000 I need to reduce. So that 5,000, okay, see, I have to reduce 6,000. I have to reduce 6,000 so that we can limit our deductions to 8,000. So the 6,000, in which way step I need to reduce is decided by this priority. Decided by priority. So first I'm saying reduce it from D1. So 1,000 is reduced. And the second, reduce it from 7,000. 5,000 is reduced. Okay. So only 2,000 deduction is taken from this, and 6,000 deduction is taken from this. Completely we reduced, right? 5,000 we need to reduce. This amount is available for 5,000. We reduced it. So this is deduction taken, right? So what is deduction not taken? Here, what is deduction not taken?
Thousand, sir.
And here?
Here 0. 5,000.
This is the first method, priorities method. Okay. So this DD and TK, what are you doing with this DD and TK? Only DD and TK or also arrears. So if I store it in arrears, what will happen? Next month the 6,000 is recovered. So 8,000 is recovered in this current month. The 6,000 is recovered in the next month raise. Clear? So this is the priorities for the reduction. Priority wise reducing. Second, proportional reduction. Proportional reduction. So total how much we need to reduce? Okay, so you can either calculate that 14,000 as a 100%, percentage wise. This can be called as a percentage reduction or proportional reduction. Easiest way of doing it is this. See, I have 1,000 and 6,000 and I have 7,000. So this is 1:6, so 7. Okay, so this is the ratio in which the 6,000 should be deducted. Okay, this is the ratio in which the 6,000 should be deducted from these deductions. From these deductions, yes. Okay, so first, one divided by how much? 14 into 6,000. Okay, 1 divided by 14 into 6,000. So look at it. How much it is? Okay, 428.57. Okay, so from 1,000 I should reduce. Sorry. So from 1,000 I should reduce this. 428.57. From 6,000, how much do I need to reduce? So look at this. This into 6. Okay, 2571.42. Okay, this can be rounded to 3. This can be rounded to 3. How do you get it? 6 by 14 into 6,000. Okay, next. From 7,000, how much?
$3,000, sir.
Yeah. So 7 divided by 14. So 1 by 2 ratio. So 6,000 into 0.5, you get. So calculate this now. So this is how much? So we have 4,000 here. 1,000 minus 428. $571.43. Okay, how much do you get here? 6,000 minus 2571.43. 3428.57. So if you add this total, how much will you get, guys?
Sir, half of 7,000 is 3,500.
Yeah, this is 3,500, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, this is 3,000, 4,000 only, not 7,000, right? 6,000 you are calculating. So total is how much? This plus 571.43 plus 4,000. You get 8,000 total. So after reducing these amounts, the total of all deductions will be 8,000. Clear? The total of all deductions will be 8,000. So you add this up, you'll get 8,000. So how did I reduce? When instead of calculating the percentage, easiest method is applying a ratio. I have to reduce 6,000. That 6,000, I need to reduce it based on equal ratio. Equal ratio. So I applied ratio method. Okay. And the third method, equal amount method. The third method is the equal amount method. So what is the equal amount method? Observe this. I should reduce 6,000. Okay. I should reduce 6,000. How many waste steps we have? 3 waste steps we have. Okay. If I divide it by 3, okay, for every waste step, from every waste step, I should reduce 2,000. From every waste step, I should reduce 2,000. So is it possible to reduce 2,000 from every waste step? Is it possible to reduce 2,000 from every waste step?
No,
No.
sir.
These are the deductions we have. It is not possible, right? It is not possible. Here you have 1,000 only. How do you reduce 2,000 from this? We have a deduction 1,000 only. How do you reduce 2,000 from this? You can only reduce 1,000. Okay. So 1,000 is reduced. 1,000 is reduced. So remaining is how much? 5,000 I need to reduce. Okay. Remaining 5,000 I need to reduce. From which waste step? How many waste steps? 2 waste steps. So 2,500 I can reduce. This 2,500 I can reduce from this waste step and this waste step. Yes or no? So 2,500 is reduced from this, and remaining 2,500 is reduced from this. So this deduction is 0 deduction. Okay, this is 3,500 and this is 4,500. So what is this? Deduction taken. Deduction taken and deduction not taken. How much? The same amount. So whether you are storing it in DDNTK or DDNTK plus arrears, it all depends on configuration and the requirement. So client's business rule. If they say you have to recover it in the next month. Direction not 6,000, right? Direction not taken is this. Yeah. So if you want to store, if you want to recover it in the next month, also store it in item. So these are the 3 methods in which we can reduce the deduction. Your client will tell you the business rule for this. Okay. So whenever you have multiple deductions in a waste type class, not a single waste type, whenever you have multiple deductions, okay, any one of these three methods must be applied. Any one of these three methods must be applied, guys. Okay, on the limits and deductions. Any question in this? So let's convey the same thing now.
Sir, for the third method in DD and TK, it will be 1000, sir. Or it will be 0, sir.
Which one?
This equal amount method, TD and TK value, sir. For the first way step 1000.
We are not taking 1000, right? We reduced 1000.
Okay, sir.
Direction taken is 0 because we reduced it. Direction taken means RT table, guys. This is the amount we are recovering from the employee. Total, I need to recover 8000. I have recovered it from second one and third one. You understood? So equal amount method. First, if I apply 6000 divided by 3, I get 2000. But in the first deduction, how much do I have? 1000 only, right? I cannot reduce 2000 from this. I can reduce 1000. So this is reduced. Okay, this value is reduced. So remaining 5000 I need to reduce. And this 5000 is from how many waste types? 2 waste types, right? 5000 I need to reduce from 2 waste types. So divided by 2, 2500 and 2500 is reduced. Okay, so if I reduce 2500 from 6000, how much am I deducting? 3500 from the payroll, and here from 4500 from the payroll. How much amount is not taken from this deduction? Obviously, reduced amount is deduction not taken, right? You got it?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so here in this is the deduction taken. So what is DD and TK here? 428.57 not taken from this. 2571.43 not taken from this. 3000 is not taken. Okay, so priority method, you can reduce the deduction, proportional reduction, equal amount reductions. So let's look at the same example now in the system. So go to payroll USA. Deductions, limits and deductions. Okay, define a rule for limits. So what is this rule for limits? Here, as I mentioned, a limit amount the 8,000 in this example is a fixed amount, right? I limited to 8,000, but this amount can be calculated. Let's say rule based. Okay, rule based is what? The instead of 8,000, apply 50% of the gross is a limit for these deductions. So this is a rule based. Okay, so you need to create a rule if you want to apply. Okay, limits and deductions, you need to create a rule. So that rule can be created here. Define rules for limit. You can go to, so some type of benefit, we use this concept for the some type of benefit plans guys. Okay, to restrict the pre-tax deductions limit to a particular limit. Yeah, for now, on /101, apply 50% and include it into the limit. Okay, we are applying the formula that is 50% of the gross. Okay, that is 50% of the gross. So where do you use it? You'll see it in the next. Limit modifier. Limit modifier. So what is this limit modifier? We have already seen modifiers. So this will help you to group the employees based on the structures. Okay, this modifiers will help you what? Modifiers will help you to group the employees based on the structures. Okay, which have a common limits applicable. Common absence valuation rules applicable. Okay, common constants applicable. So it is like a feature only, nothing else. Okay, so in feature you group the structures, right? Both enterprise structure and person structure. The written value represents that structural employees. Similarly here, the modifiers also same. Modifiers will help you to group the employees based on the structures. In this case, which have a common limits applicable. Okay, so if you go to PU01, you see modifier here, and we have already customized this modifier. Okay, in this, the modifier B, you need to look at the modifier B. Okay, so let's say modifier B for the permanent employees 01, contractors I would set to 0. So the limit for the contractors is 50% of the gross. The limit for the contracts is a 50% of the gross. The limit for the permanent employees is 8,000. So fixed amount I'm applying for permanent employees. Okay, rule value I'm going to apply for the contract employees. So you will understand where this 01 and 02 is used. Okay, so look at this. That's what it is. That's what these two windows are. You do not have to modify here. Directly you can go to PE01 and then go to that PCR and modify it. Now this is where we create a waste type class. Means this. So it contains what? A set of a list of waste types on which you are applying the limit together. Okay, the list of waste types on which you are applying the limit. Okay, so waste type class is also a 4-digit code, guys. Create a waste type class. Create a waste type class. So Z deductions. Okay, deductions limit. So I explained 3 methods here, right? Priority wise reducing, proportional reducing, and equal amount reducing. Okay, which method are you using to apply to reduce these deductions? First, I'll show you priorities method. Okay, priorities method. Yeah, so we created a class, waste type class. Okay, we created a waste type class. In this waste type class, what are the waste types you are reducing? In this waste type class, what are the waste types you are reducing? Okay, but before that, make sure your deductions are in limits group. How do you add your base types to a base type group, guys?
T_T50 to D7.
Yeah. Go to SM30, T_T50 to D7. So LIM 0. So this is the limits base type group deductions to the limit. You have to have your base type here. Then only the base type is read by the limit function, guys. Okay, go to LIM 0. Your deductions do not exist here. Add them. Add it. Okay. Now, so here, come back. Go to base type class and click on base type classification. Select base type class and click on base type classification. Add your base types here. 1D10, 1D11. So if you are reducing your deductions based on the priority method, guys, define the priority. So 1, 2, as I discussed, I'm maintaining the same priority here. Now, the last column is, are you storing this value in only DDNTK or DDNTK plus arrays? Are you storing this value is only in DDNTK or DDNTK plus arrays? You need to decide that. If you leave it blank here, okay, it is only stored in DDNTK. If you leave it blank, it is only stored in DDNTK, guys. But if you maintain 1, it is stored in DDNTK plus arrays, so that the reduced amount is recovered in the next month. The reduced amount is recovered in the next month by which function, guys? By which function these reduced amounts are recovered using the same base types? Anyone? Can you hear me, guys?
Process area, sir. PRART.
Then why are you taking so much time? If a base type is stored in array table, it is recorded by PRART function in the next month. Okay. Next. Where do you apply the limit? Here. Base type class limits. Click on this. Go to new entries. Now this is where we will apply the limits using the modifiers, guys. So how many modifiers have we created? How many modifiers have we defined in the schema? For this base type class, okay, I'm applying the limits here based on the modifiers. How many modifiers have we defined? Anyone?
2 modifiers.
So 01 is a modifier which will apply, or which represents who?
Permanent.
Permanent employees. And I'm applying this limit as a pay period limit. This limit as a pay period limit. When the limit amount is 8,000. Okay, and currency. I'm not defining the rule here. Either rule or amount only can be maintained. Either rule or amount maintained. 02. So I will maintain a rule here. So what is the rule? Jet GRSIS. I created this. So that's it from the configuration. Okay. So for the contract employees, up to 50% of the gross you can reduce. For the permanent employees, only 8,000. All that $8,000. Save it and come back. Now go to maintain a wage step for limits. So this is to check the characteristics, processing classes. Okay, processing classes of the wage steps, guys. Maintain the processing classes. Okay, so make sure these processing classes are maintained like this. Here, processing class 20. Okay, so what should we do here? Processing class 20. What is the PCR for the processing class 20, guys? What is the PCR for the processing class 20?
Zero two three.
X023, sir.
So X0 to 3. So at X0 to 3, what do we do with the deductions?
Move it to output.
Move it to output table. Don't do anything with the deduction. You just have to send them to the output table. That's what it is. Now, why are we updating the deductions in CRT? If the limit is an annual limit, you will apply the limit on cumulated figure, right? CRT plus IT value, right? So if you have to apply annual limit, cumulative period limits, you have to have these deductions stored in CRT table, guys. Okay, for that accumulation time. If you are applying a cumulative limit, quarterly cumulative limit, then this deduction must be stored for the quarterly accumulation time. If you are applying a half yearly accumulation time, this deduction must be stored within CRT. Yearly accumulation time. Yearly is compulsory. Every payment and every deduction in payslip, every payment and every deduction must be stored in CRT table with accumulation time Y, which is compulsory. Okay. And 41, this is where the deductions are accumulated and stored in RT table. By which phase here?
024.
024. So make sure all your deductions have these processing classes applied like this. These three are most important for the deductions. Okay, come back. So accumulation of waste type CRT table. This is just a CRT table update. If you maintain a processing class 30 specification T, okay, then this table, I have already explained this. I don't need to repeat this again. Yeah, renaming a waste step for the error processing, we will come back, which is again an important topic. We'll come back to that now in a few minutes. So first verify this. I'm going to PA30 and I have, which one are we testing? This one? This one 7,000 I wanted to give. So Control F, limit okay, find next here. So we applied percentage reduction. Before the waste types are accumulated into /110, these limits are applied, guys. After using the reduction only, you can add them to the 110, right? So look at this. I reduced 1D10 with 1,000 and 1D12 with 5,000. So is it exactly like this or not? I reduced 1,000 here and 5,000 here. Then what is stored in RT table? 6,000 and 2,000. Okay, look at this. In the output, look at ID table. 6,000, 1D11, second waste type and the third waste type. Okay, and remaining amount stored in DDNTK, which will be added in arrears table by process priorities function again. Okay, here we are going to add them anyway. So arrear table. Okay, next. Suppose if I apply the second method. What is this? Proportional reduction. See, 428.57 reduced as per our manual calculation. Okay, 2571 reduced here and 3,000 is reduced here. What is taken? These are the deductions taken: 571 and 3428. So the total of these three deducted in ID table is 8,000. So your /110 is now 8,000 only here. Okay, equal reduction. So you have to understand this concept and see how I calculated this manual figures first before we run SAP. That is important in payroll. Okay, so suppose if something goes wrong, then again verify your manual calculation and then SAP calculation. Without what is nothing but a testing. You have to have a result, expected result first. Yeah, manual calculation applied first, and then put the same thing in the system and test it. Okay, so look at the third method. Equal reduction. Okay, this is how we reduced it, right? So in the output, you will see what directions, what are the direction values: 3,500 and 4,500. It is exactly like we calculated, right? So when I run, payroll, live run, and then go to the next one, subsequent run. Are we recording them in the subsequent month? And how much are we recovering in the subsequent month? Anyone? How much are we recovering in the subsequent month? Anyone? So the values stored in arrears are what? What are the values stored in arrear table?
It will be 6,000.
6,000.
6,000. Okay, 1,000 in the first phase tab, 2,500 and 2,500 in the second phase tab, right? So if you go to this, so the first function you need to look at in the subsequent month is PRART. What it does, it will import all the three phase tabs from array table as if we are importing it from the info tab only. Clear? So if you look at ID table here, okay, you will see all the three directions. And looking at this table, you cannot identify whether it is imported from by PRART function or from info tab 15 again, right? There is no difference. So here onwards, these are the directions for the current period. Again, these directions go through the limits process or not. In the subsequent month, again there is a limits function here. Again, this waste tabs go through the limits functionality in the subsequent month. So all the three directions together is how much? 6,000. So it is lesser than 8,000. There is nothing reduced in the subsequent month. All the 6,000 is reduced as it is. Clear? Okay. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
So what is renaming the directions? Suppose in the subsequent month, I don't want to apply limits concept. What should I do? In the next month, on the three directions again, okay, I don't want to apply on the apply the limits again, or I want to have a different characters in T51 P6. Okay, I want to have different characters in T51 P6, or I want to have a different limits processing in the subsequent month. So if you use the same waste tabs, there is no change in the limits processing on the waste tabs, and there is no change in the V_T51 P6 we discussed yesterday. Okay, all the three columns: priorities column, arrears column, and retro accounting column, right? So in the subsequent month, if you want to change these characters, you have to rename the waste tab. Okay, you have to rename the waste tabs. For example, go to PU30. In the subsequent month, I don't want to apply this limits characters. I don't want to apply the limits characters, guys. And I want to apply the character like this. The amount must be recovered at any cost in the subsequent month, even by generating advance payment. The 6,000 must be recovered in the subsequent month. If the amount is not enough in the subsequent month, then recover it based on advance. Are we applying advance on these three waste types? Currently we are applying, yes. Let me check. V_T51 P6. See, we are applying advance. If the gross amount is not enough, we are applying the advance. I don't want to apply the advance in the next month. Okay, I want to apply deduct whatever is possible and recover it in the subsequent month. So what should we do? Go to EU30, copy the waste tab, any direction waste tab. That's okay. M200 here. Or take MD. No, 1D14, 13. Okay, now what we have to do is first check the characters of 1D13 in SM30 V underscore T51 P6. Okay, V underscore T51 P6. Is it updated in this? Check that first. Not updated. Let me maintain manually. Priority, let's say the array character 3. 3 means what, guys? 3 means what?
I mean process arrears. I mean deduct in the subsequent month.
So deduct whatever is possible in the current month, remaining amount in the subsequent month. Whereas my limit deductions generating advance payment. Okay, so I will rename in the subsequent month if the deductions are stored in array table. Okay, in the current month, if these deductions are stored in array table, then I will rename the waste tabs to this waste tab 1D13. How do we rename a deduction waste tab? How do we rename a deduction waste tab? Go to V underscore T51 P1. Go to V underscore T51 P1, guys. Okay, go to 20. Indicator 20 is the one we should use. If these deductions are stored in array table. Okay, what we are doing is, if these deductions are stored in array table, the indicator 20, change the deduction code to which waste tab 1D13. So you learned the three functions PR, PRI, and PRDNT and PRART, and you didn't see the functionality of PRART, PREND. Sorry, you didn't see the functionality of PREND. Now you look at it. The fourth function in the array of characters, guys. So if you execute this first month, all the three deductions 1000, 2500 and 2500 are stored in array table. Here, sorry. Okay, all the three deductions are stored in array table, guys. DD, NTK and arrays table. You can look at it. One D 10, 1, 2, 1. Right. Now, what is the last function in arrays processing, guys? What is the last function in arrays processing? PREND. You will see it here. Okay. In this deduction processing, the last function is PREND. What it does? Observe this. So it is renaming these three deductions to 1D13 in the array table. Okay, so before this function, look at array table. After this function, look at array table. One D 1 3. So in the next month, in the subsequent month, if you run payroll, which direction you will see, guys? 1D 1 3 or 3 directions?
1D 1 3.
So you will see 1D 1 3. And what characters does this waste type have in the arrears? Direct what is possible? Yes or no? See, it is imported here. Now instead of 1D 1 0 1 1 1 2, you will see in IT table 1D 1 3. And it has the array characters different and the limits processing different. Okay, so that's how you can rename the directions, okay, to change the characters in the subsequent month. If you do not want to apply the same original waste type characters for the array waste types, okay, you can rename the waste types. You can rename the waste type using T51 P1 table with the indicator 20, guys. Okay, is it clear, all of you? The limits and renaming.
Yes, sir.
And there is the info tab, employee specific limits. Currently limits are what? Limits are configured at what level?
Table level.
Yep, limits are configured at what level?
At table level, sir. I mean IMG.
No. In IMG, at what level you restricted the limits? You defined the limits. Employee group level, modifiers.
Structure.
Okay. At the employee group level, you defined a limit 8,000. But for one employee, I want to give 9,000. For one period, for one employee, I want to give a 9,000. Okay. Then that is called individual limits. I don't remember the info number. $165. Okay. Go to this. Go to this. Select waste type class is a subtype for this input tab. Okay. And for the period 01/01 2017 January, I want to apply the limit instead of 8,000 to 9,000. So if you maintain an info tab, this limit is applied to only this employee. Clear? Okay, 165 is called individual limits. Either you can define a rule here, select a rule here, or maintain a fixed amount here. Okay, so this is called individual limits info type guys. Whereas all other employees in the employee group is 8,000, but only for this employee 9,000. Check it. So how much do we need to reduce together? 5,000 only, right? So the 5,000, if you reduce, so equal ratio, okay, 1,300 change you will get, 1,300, 13.33 something you will get it. So first way step, you have only 1,000, 1,000 is reduced. From the remaining 2,000 you need to reduce. So 1,000, 2,000, 2,000 is what we reduced by the system. 1,000, 2,000 and 2,000. Clear? So this decimal differences, okay, we will have to customize the rounding here, okay. Clear? Instead of 6,000, how much are we reducing? 5,000 only whatever it is. So 9,000 is the limit now. So that's all about limits, guys. So catch you tomorrow. I'll share the video.